Hey Waffle Gang, I do hope you're well. My name is Mark and today we're checking out some more relationship stories, and if you do, you absolute cheeky so-and-so, do love a Reddit story, why not consider hitting that like, subscribe, maybe that notification bell too, and let's crack on with today's first story. Now, today's first story does come with a new update. If you heard the previous parts to it before, please feel free to do so. Timestamps are always in the description and along the timeline below. It's from Hawk Bookkeeper 8596 and says, "My 21 male best friend P, female 22, is dating my high school bully. I'm cutting her out of my life." Just as the title said, I, male 21, have a girl, let's call her Priscilla, female 22, I consider to be my best friend for the last 3 years. Priscilla has seen me go through a lot, especially after my family disowned me for not forgiving my cousin for hooking up with my then girlfriend 4 years ago. Priscilla was the one to help me through all that, and I genuinely thought she was someone who would never hurt me. But here I am. Last night she was hanging around my apartment and we were drinking. She is not good with it, so she got loose and admitted to being in a relationship with my high school bully. All of us were in the same class, so she knows the kind of things Mitch, male 22, I think, has done to me. Especially after my family disowned me. He got even meaner as my cousin was part of his group. He and his gang of lackeys always physically and mentally abused me. I filed a complaint with the school, but we all know how helpful they are in these cases. Moreover, since I did not have my parents by my side, nothing was done to them and my life was made even more hellish. Priscilla was the only one who kept me together as I started living with her parents after I was disowned. So she knows firsthand what kind of torment Mitch put me through. Back to the topic. I don't think she immediately realized what she had admitted to and went to sleep in my spare bedroom. I was too shocked to sleep, so I went to stay with a college friend. Priscilla must have realized what she confessed to last night and has since been bombarding my phone with calls and texts. My friend took my phone away, and I am using his phone to type this post. Apologies for any mistakes. I am honestly thinking of cutting her out of my life at this point. Priscilla means a lot to me, but I just can't be around her anymore. But I don't know whether I'm being unreasonable here. Can someone help me? Edit. Well, I don't know how to update posts in this sub, so I'll tell you some more information here. I've decided to meet her tomorrow to hear her side of the story. I need to do at least that much. Also, I'll answer any of your questions tomorrow as well. Thank you for everything. I never knew there would be so many people out there who will help me so much. And like I said, we do have a couple of updates to this post. Now, you guys already know what I'm like with bullying stories. I have a biased opinion because of my past with it, so I can say for myself, I certainly wouldn't be able to look past this. I think it's fine if you want to hear her side of the story. I think for myself personally, I'd be quite interested as well. But please ensure that you're doing that for yourself, and certainly don't be persuaded to try and, forgive this person for what they've done in their past. You don't have to forgive anything. I very much know myself, if my bully came up to me right now and said sorry to me, I'd be like, yeah, thank you for apologizing, which I would appreciate an apology, but I certainly wouldn't forgive them for what they did in their past either. But hey, like I said, disclaimer, I have a biased opinion on this. Flight Freedom says, "Hey OP, I'm really sorry to hear you have to deal with this." To reference those saying that people change. OP, you're not required to forgive him or your friend under any circumstances, and moreover, your best friend cannot forgive him for you. I think you should also note that she clearly deliberately hid a relationship from you. She knew this would upset you, hence why she hid it from you until she was too drunk to continue doing so. I don't think it would be unreasonable for you to cut her off or even request distance. If this is unforgivable for you, that's okay. Personally, I wouldn't be able to forgive a friend that dated my abuser, so I understand where you are coming from. I think whatever choice you end up making is up to you, but whatever option you choose is okay. I wish you luck in continuing to heal moving forward. Healer says, I would cut her out of my life as well. She knew what this was going to do with you and still did it. I would, however, talk to her and let her know how hurt you are and clear the air as much as you can before moving on. Otherwise, you might doubt your decision continuously and feel like crap. On top, I would also recommend therapy for you because that's a lot of baggage you are carrying around that's waiting to be unloaded. Best of luck and remember to look forward. A deleted user says, wow, she's a terrible person for doing that. There is no way in hell she didn't realize this was going to be the outcome. On top of it all, she has given your bully even more ammunition to humiliate and bully you with. I guarantee she has probably told him everything about you and about all the breakdowns you've had. This person is not your friend. OK Association says, be careful when meeting her. She can do the dumbest thing and bring in the bully to apologize and make you feel better. This is the dumbest idea, and she would be a crappy friend if she did that. Go and scout the place before, and if she arrives with him, leave. Don't say a word and bring someone you can trust to help you and hold them off. They will see you leave and try to stop you. And one more comment from Dragonfly who says, just because people change, it doesn't mean this person who tormented you has, and it doesn't change what they did beforehand. It doesn't sound like they've asked for forgiveness or even apologized, so why would your friend give them the time of day knowing exactly what they put you through? So then OP comes in with her update and says, let me start with apologies and thank you to everyone who helped me with my last post. But to those who couldn't, you can view the story through my post history, I think. Also, this post is going to be a long one, so apologies in advance. Either way, I went to talk with Priscilla the next day to get to know her side, as most of you wonderful people suggested to me. But on someone's advice, I did not go alone. I had a couple of my college friends with me. I didn't know what I was thinking or feeling back when I entered the cafe we were supposed to meet in, but when I saw her, it felt as she had been crying for the entire night. As Priscilla saw me walking towards her, she got up to hug me. We usually greet each other like that, but I gently pushed her away. I could see she was hurt, but so was I. My buddies took seats over at the next table, and Priscilla and I got to talking. She could barely form any sentences as she kept apologizing. I told her to stop crying as gently as I could, and she finally started telling me her side of the story. Well, we had not been dating for 3 months, but for a year. Yep, for a year she has been lying to me. And then came the line which most of you said she would. She said, he's changed a lot, you should meet him. I said, really? You're going to say that to me after all he has done? I still have scars from what he did to me. You know this, don't you? Why were you talking to him in the first place? And she replied, he wanted to apologize to you for all he did, but didn't have the courage to. From then on, the conversation went in circles. He wanted to apologize, the two of them got to talking and all. But she did not have an answer for my one question. Why him? At this point, someone walked over to us and sat beside her. And guess who it was? Yep, it was my bully. Let's call him Mitch. I don't clearly remember what happened afterwards, but there was a lot of yelling, and then Mitch snapped and tried to punch me for making his girl cry. Priscilla was watching it all. I wasn't in the right mind, so the punch hit me. My friends rushed over, but before they could do anything, I knocked Mitch down. Back in high school, I used to be small and weak, but in the last couple of years I've grown a lot, both in height and weight. Thankfully, my friends stopped me before I did something that would have made me regret it later on. Priscilla was crying all the while, but not once did she try to check on me. At that moment, I knew our friendship was over. I looked at her for one last time and told her, too much for change, don't you think? After that, my friends and I walked out of the cafe. It was then all the rush and anger I had disappeared, and I started bawling like I was back in high school. Not proud of it, but my friends helped me immensely. The days following the meet were tiring as I was busy moving in with my friends. The apartment I was living in belonged to Priscilla's parents, so I didn't think it was right for me to continue living there. However, before leaving, I called them and told them about the fight and stuff and that I was moving out. They were surprised and reassured me that their daughter would not cause me any issues, but I declined. I was living there while paying minimum rent to them. I did not think it would be a good idea for me to live somewhere Priscilla could find me. I thanked them for all they had done for me over the last few years and reassured them our relationship was still the same. I could feel it was tough for all of us, but this farewell was necessary. So here I am, living with my college friends who also celebrated my birthday last night. It was an awesome party and completely unexpected too. After all, in all this mess, I forgot about my birthday for the first time in my life. On my birthday, Priscilla tried to call and text me, but I didn't reply to or see her texts, so that's all, I think. I'm still sad about losing my best friend, but I know this is the best for both of us. On a positive note though, I was informed that I've been selected for a student exchange program, so if the pandemic allows it, I'll be moving to Singapore in a couple of months. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment and I'll try to answer them to the best of my ability. And lastly, thank you for all the love and support you people gave me. Love you all and take care. Still using my phone, so sorry for any typos. So then, OP updates a year later, which says, well, it's been a year and I finally remembered the password to this account. Lol. I've been doing good in life, got a job and loving family now. Also, I ended up moving to India instead of Singapore. I'll give the reasons below. Now for the update, as so many people asked for it. After our little get together, I cut off all communications with Priscilla, but the surprises weren't over yet. After a week of silence, police showed up at my friend's apartment where I was staying. They were there to arrest me for assaulting Mitch. I never had been so scared in my life before, but my friend and his parents assured me it'd be alright, as I hadn't done anything wrong. We went to the police station where the officers wanted to hear my side of the story, as Mitch apparently had witnesses by his side who reported me. I guess we all know who it was. Thankfully, I had witnesses of my own, my friends who verified my story. Had it not been for them, I'd probably be in a prison cell or something. Once everything was resolved, my friend's stepdad, he's a lawyer, wanted me to sue Mitch and Priscilla for harassment and for the crap they pulled at the station. Even though I wanted to, I didn't for the sake of Priscilla's parents and the love and support they showed me. Unfortunately, it meant I couldn't sue Mitch either, as both Mitch and Priscilla were involved in the matter together. But that incident was enough to make me burn bridges with them. Priscilla did call and leave letters for me, but I didn't bother reading them and burned them out of existence. Sadly, because of all this drama, the opportunity I had to study in Singapore was given to someone else. I was a bit bummed out, as it was the one thing I could look forward to, but what can I do? It is what it is. Unfortunately, it seemed the news of my arrest reached my family, and my mother, against my father's wishes, came to visit me. I still don't know how she managed to find me, but I think she hired a PI or something. I didn't want to meet her after what the so-called family had done to me, but my friend's mum persuaded me otherwise. So we had a chat and, well, let's just say it's explained why everyone in my family hated me. I'm the product of an affair. It never occurred to me that it could be the case, but now I think about it, it makes a lot of sense. My father, well, I don't know what I should call my mum's husband, is Caucasian, while my mother is from India. So I always thought my skin, hair and everything was from my mum's side. Turns out it's because my mum had a fling with her ex while she was in India for a year that resulted in her having me. At first I didn't want to believe it, but the DNA result showed me didn't lie. She gave me my bio-dad's details in case I wanted to talk to him, and apologized for not being the mother I deserved to have, and kissed my forehead and left. She isn't going to leave her husband, and I'm okay with it. It's not like we'll have a relationship anytime soon. I still hate her, and it'd take a lot of time to let go of the hatred I have for her and my ex-family. That said, I wasn't so sure if I should contact my bio-dad or not. But it seemed while I was thinking about the decision, my mum informed my bio-dad about me because a couple of days later, he called me. Long story short, we called and FaceTime a lot for 3 to 4 months, and he and his wife and my half-sister flew in to visit me at least once a month for the rest of the year. I then decided to live with them in India, and I couldn't be any happier. Currently, we live in Surat, in the state of Gujarat, apologies about that pronunciation, and life's been blissful. My family loves me, and I even have a girlfriend now. I'm still adapting to the new culture, and to be honest, I kinda miss my friends, Priscilla included. But after all the drama I've been through, it's better to let go of the past and focus on making a better tomorrow. So that's it. I hope this will be the last thing I'll post here. Thanks for all the advice and help you lovely people have shown me. Hopefully someday I'll be able to return the favor. Bye for now. And when OP was talking about them meeting up, and then the bully comes and sits down, I was like, oh my word. I had to edit out the, oh for fuck's sake bit. I was like, oh, Jesus. I couldn't imagine, having my best friend and knowing they were bullied in the past, knowing what they've gone through, and then dating that person and thinking, that's going to be a good thing and they'd be able to move past it. I just would never, ever think of doing that. But now I'm going to turn this one to you guys. What do you guys make of this situation? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And let's move on to another story. And our next story comes from Gabi, and I saw this one and I was like, whoo-wee. Am I the a-hole for giving my stay-at-home mum wife a written performance review with suggested areas needing improvement? Oh dear. I, 33 male, share one child, 6 female, with my wife, 36 female. She has another daughter, 13 female, that lives with us full time. We also have custody of our niece, 15 female. The teens are each other's best friends. They share a large bedroom, which was done at their request. The dynamic here is pretty much mum and youngest against the teens, with me being the referee between them. My wife has taught the youngest she can blame others for her actions to avoid consequences. She just says the word. One of the teens will get punished without question. There's no doubt she is my wife's favorite. I love her, but she's becoming nothing more than an entitled brat. As just a mere example, my wife and I had an appointment we both needed to attend. When we came back, it was apparent the pool had been used. They're not allowed to swim while we aren't home. As the youngest divulged, "Mummy, I was in my room colouring. I never went swimming." The teen said that was not true. She had gone swimming as well. Only the teens were punished. My wife refused to give the youngest any type of consequence. I later found her wet swimming suit hidden in the garage. My wife and I argued. I felt strongly she needed to not only be punished for swimming, but also for lying. After a relentless disagreement, I was silenced as she gave the youngest a very minimal consequence. The lying, blaming, and favoritism ultimately caused the teens to act out, understandably. Most of their consequences are done by giving more chores, specifically the chores the 6-year-old has, or as recent, they were removed from music lessons as a consequence. I believe they're so frustrated they don't even care when they verbally attack their mother after her unfair treatment towards them. After all, they already get blamed and punished for the things they don't even do. From my perspective, lashing out, giving them a release. We've had countless tiring arguments. She'd either not see her faults or we'd agree to do this and that, but it was never actually done. I decided to write her a performance review as a stay-at-home mum. Her areas in need of improvement. Well, it was a lot. But I touched on how she needs to listen better, stop being biased, be fair in all her decisions, stop making rash decisions without taking all 3 kids into consideration. I recommended her to give each child the same amount of one-on-one alone time to speak or just be with one another. So it wouldn't be an entirely slap to her face. I gave her accolades of her strong points for other areas aside from parenting. I guess I felt this would work best because I could organize my thoughts on paper without her interjecting. However, it quickly backfired in my face. She was quiet for the first hour after I handed it to her. Then she completely exploded on me. Said if we're going to do this type of crap, she'd get a private bank account and take half of my paycheck every week. She further said the review was abusive and a manipulative, sexist move. Am I the a-hole? And we're going to start in the comments with Scented Pasta, who says everyone sucks here. The concerns you have are legitimate and it needs an urgent solution. But the way you went about it is really unhealthy. The parents of your children are not perfect. You are not her boss. You are her husband and the father of her kid. Giving her a performance review comes across as really condescending, and as she said, manipulative. Prairie Girl says, are you her employer? Because employers give performance reviews. Partners do not give performance reviews. Your family, including yourself, needs therapy. A lot of therapy. A lot of therapy. You're the a-hole. Sputnik replies that and says, and that's called everyone sucks here. The fact that you vote OP to be the only a-hole here is effing confounding. He's so much less of an a-hole than the wife that they're not even on the same scale. You're all out of your ever-loving minds tonight. Jinx says everyone sucks here. She should be listening better, but seriously, a performance review. What kind of reaction did you expect? You're treating her like a temp worker, not your partner. That was unbelievably condescending. You seem to have a you versus me mentality instead of us versus the problem. You'll need to find a way to communicate better in a non-adversarial way. Time to get into couples counseling and talk about this like adults. 5 Foot Philly says, I was ready to call you an a-hole, but I can't. I think you acted in desperation because you see your wife favoring the 6-year-old at the expense of the teens. You have the additional fear of the 6-year-old turning into a manipulative brat due to your wife's actions. But did it have to be a performance review? Couldn't you have just written her a heartfelt letter? You got problems bigger than a peed-off wife. You got 3 kids who all need a stable home and to be treated fairly and equally. And the teens need to be heard. Somehow you've got to convince your wife family therapy is in order. I'm going with not the a-hole. Good luck. Meng says everyone sucks here. Your title made me laugh. How else did you expect that to go besides her throwing it in your face? She's your wife, not your employee. You are her husband, not her boss. A performance review is something that you get from someone who has authority over you, not from your equal, which you two are supposed to be. If you can't discuss the problems directly with your wife because she's too stubborn or too difficult, try to get someone else in the middle, like a counselor, to act as a referee or get a divorce. Also, why can't you discipline the little brat? You know that your wife won't do it, so why don't you do it yourself? The kid is also your responsibility. And one more comment from Intrepid Medicine, who says everyone sucks here, but removing music lessons, something that is literally educating your children, is absolutely ridiculous. A performance review is deeply passive aggressive and you should attempt solid communication first. Someone that is vindictive enough to threaten to take half your pay though. You may want to consider if this is the partner your children need. And as you can see in the comments, they were just all over the place in this one. Mostly everyone sucks here, but you're the a-holes, not the a-holes, sprinkled in as well. But what is your opinion on this matter? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. As always, I love to hear them. And just a huge thank you for spending your time with me today, getting involved in the stories. Your love, your support, your time always means the absolute world to me. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next one. Take care and much love.